The Winter Line was a series of German military fortifications in Italy, constructed during World War II by Organisation Todt and commanded by Albert Kesselring. The series of 3 lines was designed to defend a western section of Italy, focused around the town of Cassino, through which ran the important Highway 6 which led uninterrupted to Rome. The primary Gustav Line ran across Italy from just north of where the Garigliano River flows into the Tyrrhenian Sea in the west, through the Apennine Mountains to the mouth of the Sangro River on the Adriatic coast in the east. The 2 subsidiary lines, the Bernhardt Line and the Hitler Line, ran much shorter distances from the Tyrrhenian Sea to just northeast of Cassino, where they would merge into the Gustav Line. Relative to the Gustav Line, the Hitler Line stood to the northwest and the Bernhardt Line to the southeast of the primary defenses. The Gustav Line, though ultimately broken, effectively slowed the Allied invasion for months between December 1943 and June 1944. Major battles in the assault on the Winter Line at Monte, Cassino and Anzio alone resulted in 98,000 Allied casualties and 60,000 Axis casualties. Gustav Line. The center of the Gustav Line crossed the main route north to Rome at strategically crucial Highway 6. It followed the Liri Valley and was anchored around the mountains behind the town of Cassino. Above it stood the ancient Benedictine sanctuary of Monte Cassino, which dominated the valley entrance, and Monte Cairo, which gave the defenders clear observation of potential attackers advancing towards the valley mouth. A bloody and protracted battle was waged over the monastery, known as the Battle of Monte Cassino. The north end of the line was held by the coastal town of Ortona, captured by Canadian forces in the fierce Battle of Ortona in December 1943, which became known as the Little Stalingrad. Bernhardt and Hitler lines. On the western side of the Apennines were 2 subsidiary lines, the Bernhardt Line in front of the main Gustav positions, and the Hitler Line some 5 miles to the rear. The Winter Line was fortified with gun pits, concrete bunkers, turreted machine gun emplacements, barbed wire and minefields. It was the strongest of the German defensive lines south of Rome. About 15 German divisions were employed in the defense. It took the Allies from mid-November 1943 to June 1944 to fight through all the various elements of the Winter Line, including the well-known battles at Monte Cassino and Anzio. The offensive on the Bernhardt Line was launched on December 1, 1943 as part of Operation Raincoat. British and American troops took the terrain around Monte Cassino and the Mingano Gap within a week and a half of launching the assault, but German operations persisted in the area for months. Some authorities define the Bernhardt Line as crossing Italy from coast to coast, following not just the western defensive positions described above, but incorporating also the eastern defenses of the Gustav Line. Other authorities use the Winter Line name interchangeably with the Gustav Line as defined above. Bibliography. Fifth Army at the Winter Line, 15 November 1943 to 15 January 1944. Washington, United States Army Center of Military History, 1945. CMH Pub 100-9. For the Voltaire Note to the Winter Line, 6 October 15 November 1943. Washington, United States Army Center of Military History, 1944. CMH Pub 100-8. Smith, Col. Kenneth V. World War II Campaigns. Naples, Foggia, 9 September 1943 to 21 January 1944. Washington, United States Army Center of Military History. CMH Pub 72-17. Muhm, Gerhard. German Tactics in the Italian Campaign. Moom, Gerhard, La tattica tedesca nella campagna d'Italia in linea gotica avamposto dei Balcani, Roma, Amadeo Montemaggi, Edizioni Civitas. Field Marshal Lord Carver, The Imperial War Museum Book of the War in Italy 1943–1945. London, Sidgwick and Amp, Jackson. ISBN 0-330-48230.